help you there. And so speed, but from 1942 onwards, additional Seafire models were rolled out throughout the Fleet Air Arm. And in November of 42, they saw their first combat use of the aircraft. That was Operation Torch, which was the Allies landing back in North Africa. In 43, the Seafire was used to provide air cover for the Allied invasion of Sicily and subsequent Allied invasions throughout Italy. And during 44, the type was again used to provide aerial support to Allied ground forces during the Normandy landings. Also served with the British Pacific Fleet in the Far East, where its superb speed and rate of climb and maneuverability, the aircraft was an absolute hit out there, proving to be very capable interceptor against those feared kamikazes attacks by the Japanese pilots, because it had the speed to be able to catch up with the aircraft and down them before they could break through the barriers and threaten any of the ships. Huge firepower as well helped the aircraft to down the kamikazes at an astonishing rate. After World War II, the Seafire continued to be used for a long time. The FAA opted to withdraw its Merlin-powered Seafires and replace them with the versions that we see here today, the Griffin-powered. Saw further active service during the Korean War. Provided hundreds of missions to ground attack and combat air patrol in North Korea. That together with the Mustangs and Corsairs, a very popular option for the UN forces. And as I said earlier, aircraft operations are notoriously tough on any aircraft, and with the tail hook, engaging the arrestor wire, those reinforced undercarriage and folding wings, that they served in the Fleet Air Arm for almost 10 years. Secured a place in history, and I'm very pleased to see that the Navy wings are still flying beautiful aircraft today. The aircraft flying is a Mark 17. Its registration SX336. It was built just 15 miles from where the Navy Wings Heritage Hangar is, by Westlands in Yeovil. So it really is a local hero, this aircraft. It was built in 1946, and then rebuilt again by Kennett Aviation up in North Wales 60 years later. Entered service with the Navy in 46. 53, she was transferred down to the Royal Naval Air Station in Bramcott. It's a ground construction airframe. And then she retired from Navy service in 1955. But then back in 1973, the fuselage and the parts were discovered in a scrapyard. Can you believe that? Look at it now. The aircraft changed several times before 2001. An early attempt was made to rebuild it in 1978, but it wasn't until 2001 when she was finally purchased by a US Navy pilot, an entrepreneur, a gentleman called Tim Manor. She was finally, lovely, rebuilt into the condition that we see here today. Kennett Aviation up in North Wales did the work, and then back in 2003 conducted her first post-restoration flight in 2006, and she flies in the markings of 767 Naval Air Squadron. That aircraft, that squadron is known as the Clockwork Mouse Squadron. They trained pilots at deck landing based at RNAS Yeovilton. You can see 105 on the rear fuselage and the RNAS Yeovilton code VL on the tail. And if you ever get to another air show where you can get up close to this aircraft, it is immaculate. If you are lucky enough to have a look inside the cockpit, it's like it's just rolled off the factory. it is an amazing rebuild. Kennett Aviation, Navy Wings, should be very proud to be displaying this aircraft. That is truly of national historical importance. As I said earlier, if you want to know more about the workings of Navy Wings, do have a look at their website, www.navywings.org.uk. It's just up the road in Yeovilton, always a good day out, and well worth a museum visit if you're here with your family and kids. There's plenty to see and do. So for the last time, coming from your right, from Navy Wings, this Seafire. Aircraft is a commentator's dream. Let it do all this walking. Sounds and looks beautiful. So we're coming to the last few acts of the first day here, painted, of the English Riviera Air Show. And again, I've got to say a few thank yous. So many people to thank. Torbay Council, of course, responsible for us all being here. But also we have our English Riviera Bid Company, who are event partners. And also our sponsors, Bayes Brewery, Ocean BMW, Eaton Motors Group, Brewers Decorator Centre, and they all support